Dramatic turn of events is unfolding in West Asia ever since Israel struck deep inside Qatar. Netanyahu called it an attack on Hamas negotiators hiding in Doha, but for the Arab nation, it was a violation of its sovereignty. With Arab world uniting against Israel, alarm bells must be ringing far away in Washington. Israel, an ally of the United States, carried out a transnational killing in Qatar, another close ally of the US. Perhaps to assuage this anger in the Middle East, Trump has sent his top lieutenant, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, to Qatar.
If you want to fight a war, you fight wars between combatants. You don't fight wars by taking civilians as human shields. And in this particular case, with the hostages for almost over 2 years now, that's a barbaric practice. It's an unacceptable practice. The president called it out yesterday. So that's what we prefer. We want it to end that way.
Rubio's Qatar visit comes at a very crucial juncture. West Asia is holding an emergency summit in Doha. The event saw the participation from some of the leading Arab countries, including Iran and Saudi Arabia. These Gulf states are planning to form an anti-Israel defense bloc, much like the NATO alliance. And hence, the visit of US Secretary of State has far-reaching implications. What is the purpose of the visit? Is this a mere damage control to avoid dent to bilateral relations? Was the United States aware of Israel's plans in Doha? And most importantly, is Trump trying to ride two boats at the same time? Let's understand. On September 16th, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio arrived in Qatar. He held meeting with Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. Secretary Rubio will assure America's full support for Qatar's security and sovereignty following Israel's strike in Doha. Ending of war in Gaza through negotiations remains one of the top priorities of the visit. Before leaving for Qatar, Secretary Rubio had warned that time was running out to secure a peace deal, as Israel has intensified bombardment in Gaza.
Well, as you saw, the Israelis have begun to take operations there, so we think we have a very short window of time in which a deal could happen. We don't have months anymore, and we probably have days and maybe a few weeks, so it's a key moment.
Interestingly, the visit to Qatar comes just days after Rubio was in Israel, meeting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Speaking to the press, Rubio batted for hostages and highlighted how disarmament of Hamas was the need of the hour.
That is that every single hostage, both living and deceased, needs to be home immediately. Hamas can no longer continue to exist as an armed element that threatens the peace and security, not just of Israel, but of the world, and that the people of Gaza deserve a better future, one that cannot begin until Hamas is eliminated and until all of the hostages, both living and deceased, are home.
Soon after Israel's strikes inside Doha that led to the killing of 6 Hamas negotiators, IDF's actions drew sharp criticism from Islamic countries. On September 15th, an emergency summit was held in Doha, which was attended by members of the Arab League and OIC group. During the summit, Egypt proposed a NATO-like military alliance in West Asia to counter Israeli onslaught.
في هذا الظرف التاريخي الدقيق إنشاء آلية عربية إسلامية للتنسيق والتعاون تمكننا جميعا من مواجهة التحديات الكبرى الأمنية والسياسية والاقتصادية التي تحيط بنا، حيث أن إقامة مثل هذه الآلية الآن يمثل السبيل لتعزيز جبهتنا وقدرتنا على التصدي للتحديات الراهنة واتخاذ ما يلزم من خطوات لحماية أمننا ورعاية مصالحنا المشتركة.
The leaders have also called for economic isolation of the Jew nation. In this context, the visit by Secretary Rubio holds a lot of importance. Remember, so-called peace president Donald Trump has failed to secure peace deal in Gaza. With anger simmering against Netanyahu's actions and Arab world putting a united front, policymakers in Washington must be watching these developments closely.